just finished Stranger Things season 3 and I need to talk about it. Hey everyone, I hope y'all are having a great day. Because I'm not having a great day. Because I just finished Stranger Things. There's like a massive hole in my chest. Why do I let myself get attached to things? Okay, so Stranger Things has been around for a long time now. I understand that. Did I just hop on this bandwagon last week? Yes. Stranger Things is a sci-fi Netflix original series that's set in the 80s, and it starts with a boy going missing, and then eventually more people get drawn into the mystery and they end up discovering that there are really strange things going on in this particular city of Hawkins, Indiana. I am not someone who easily gets sucked into TV shows, which is why it's so impressive when I do get attached to a TV show. My favorite show of all time is Parks and Rec, and Parks and Rec still took me years to get through. I'm really not someone who binges things, like that's really not my personality, which is why it was surprising when I binged The Good Place sometime last year, or 2 years ago at this point maybe, I don't know. And it's so weird that I binged Stranger Things. It took me like 3 or 4 different times to actually get into it. I tried watching that first episode 3 or 4 separate times. And I kept telling myself like, oh, I understand that a lot of people like it, but it's really not for me. Who was I kidding? So I started season 1 last week. I finished it within a couple of days, actually maybe 3 days. I watched season 2 in 1 day. In 1 day. It's 9 episodes. Why? Do you understand what kind of potato I had to be to watch season 2 all in 1 day? I'm saying this knowing that other people totally binge TV shows like this, and this is like kind of normal for other people. But for me, that is so weird. Who am I? And then I intentionally spaced out season 3 over a few days because I wanted it to last. I knew it was the last released season and that I wasn't gonna get new Stranger Things for like a year and a half. Making it last, for me, meant spreading it over 3 days. Sophia! I know other people were like, oh yeah, Stranger Things is so good, and they've been saying this for years and years and years, and I just ignored it. Shame on me. This is gonna be a spoiler-filled video. If you haven't watched up until the most recent season of Stranger Things, I'm gonna have to advise you to leave. I don't want you to spoil yourself. I do recommend watching it. Even if it's just the first season, I would give the first season an entire try, and then if you don't like it, you don't have to go on to season 2 or 3. Bye if you don't wanna be spoiled. Alright, so Stranger Things season 1 is by far the best season. I don't care what anybody says, season 1 is the best season. It's a classic. It's Mike and Eleven at their best. It's so good, it's so cute. All the kids are still really young, adorable. Oh, I love film franchises or like TV series that follow small kids. I don't know what it is about it, but I'd much rather have protagonists who are like in middle school as opposed to high schoolers. Why do I have that preference? I don't know. I literally love YA. Why am I like this? I think season 1 is by far the best in terms of characters, but mostly in terms of plot. Just the plot is fantastic. Season 2, what happened? Episode 7, The Lost Sister, was truly the biggest flaming garbage I've ever seen. It was so unnecessary, not entertaining enough, or not well written enough to warrant the break in the main overarching season 2 plotline that it got. Why did that episode need to exist? One of my friends told me that that was like the most panned Stranger Things episode, and I was like, good, it deserves it. Whoever wrote that episode, snip, snip, don't write that shit ever again. It was so tropey and stereotypical and just not fun. It like wasn't fun, you know? I feel like watching Stranger Things, even when it's stressful and intense, it's still fun, and that episode was not it. Besides that episode, honestly, I don't think Stranger Things season 2 is that bad. I feel like that episode has like really unfairly tainted my thoughts on that entire season. But like the entire plot of the Mind Flayer being in Will, that was actually pretty interesting. I think Elle destroying the Demogorgon in season 1 and then Elle closing the gate in season 2 did feel kind of repetitive in that like literally without Eleven, this entire town would die over and over again. It really limits your plot and your climax when only one character has superpowers. She's like the only person who can fix all the supernatural stuff that's going on in the city. It almost kind of felt like the writer boxed themselves in, and then season 3 was them trying to like get out of that box. For season 3, I feel like the first half of it really meandered. It felt so chaotic, but not in a fun way. It just felt like it was still trying to figure out what it was trying to do, and then in the second half, things started to come together and it started to make more sense. I know people love Billy, and the actor who plays Billy, I really don't get it. He looks so gross, you know? He looks like a criminal. He's like racist question mark, but then they never talk about it. Speaking about the only black character in the series, he's like don't hang out with people like that. And then it's kind of like never brought up again. What's going on there? Season 2 was kind of rough knowing that 11 was there the entire time and Mike didn't know. I would talk to her through the walkie-talkie every day. Oh, that was so cute. They were so cute and so innocent and so sweet in the first 2 seasons. I liked Mike and 11 so much in season 1 and so much in season 2. And then in season 3, that's kind of where they lose me. They just get so teenagery in like the most stereotypical ways. Even if I'm not the biggest fan of the plots all the time, I do think the Duffer Brothers are consistently good about writing character development. So I think, you know, Nancy's arc, Steve's arc, oh, beautiful. That was fantastic. I started out hating Steve, and like when Jonathan beat him up, I was like, good, that kid deserves it. And then now I love Steve Harrington. He's great. All of the character arcs, all of the character dynamics are so great, except in season 3 with this tension between Hopper and Mike. Suddenly they've been rewritten into completely different characters than they were in the past seasons. Hopper in season 3 is not Hopper in season 1 and season 2. And yeah, you can argue like, yes, they've lived through stuff that have changed their characters, but like to keep everybody else's character on a very realistic trajectory, but then to have Hopper change so dramatically, I was really not here for it. I hated how angry and like douchey Hopper became. He was so condescending and angry and annoying. He was so jealous when Joyce would talk to literally any man, and it's like, Hopper, you have never been like this in the past seasons. I'm saying that not having rewatched the past seasons. Maybe if I looked for it, I'd see it. But seriously, when did you become so disgusting? I loved Hopper in the first 2 seasons. I thought he was so great. I also thought he was like strangely attractive. But then in season 3, I was like, why have they deteriorated his character into something I hate? Same with Mike's character. In season 1, Mike was so kind, so compassionate, so kind-hearted. He was definitely the sweetest boy out of all of the party, with the exception of maybe Will, but to be fair, he wasn't in that season very much because he was dying or near death in the Upside Down all the time. But Mike started off being such a sweet, caring boy, and then he became such a rude human. He didn't care about Will's feelings, and he like talked back to Hopper and was always so snarky, and I was like, what happened to the Mike that I loved? Where is he? Truly, the way they wrote Hopper and Mike's characters in season 3 was really not it for me. Like, both of them eventually had like more redemptive arcs by the end, but it was just really frustrating because it felt so unearned. I thought Billy's ending also felt so unearned. Literally all we've seen of him is him being slimy and gross and disgusting and possibly racist, and then suddenly you have one memory of him as a child and he's like, yep, time to sacrifice myself for 11. But yeah, on the topic of the season finale of Stranger Things 3, it wrecked me. I bawled like a baby. I literally had snot dripping down my face. I was so affected by it, and even though I didn't care about Billy, watching him die was really heartbreaking. And then having Hopper have like tears in his eyes as he said bye to Joyce, it destroyed me. It destroyed me. And then it got worse because Will and 11 were moving and we had to say goodbye to all of our couples. Jonathan and Nancy were gone. Mike and 11 were gone. But yeah, the ending of season 3, that was painful. That was painful. Although probably not as painful as it was for Joyce, who literally had to see men that she loved / liked die right in front of her eyes twice. What kind of bad luck? How many mirrors did you break? How many umbrellas did you open indoors, Joyce, for you to have that life? And then they give you like the little snippet at the end that they're holding an American in the Russian cell. And some people think that it's Hopper, some people think that it's Dr. Brenner. I feel like I'm more on the side that it's Dr. Brenner and that Hopper is stuck in the Upside Down, but honestly, I have no clue. And it's gonna be 1.5 years until we get new content probably. But by then, I'll probably have forgotten what's happened in this season. Knowing my pea brain, I will not remember. Even though I have some complaints about the writing, it's so much fun. Like, you cannot deny that it's so entertaining. The way they write their characters really keeps me watching. It keeps me so invested. I also think it's so interesting to watch these kids grow up because they started off so young and now they're like aging so rapidly. This show, good stuff. I never really get attached to TV shows this quickly, so the fact that I watched 3 seasons of something within a week is really out of character for me. Just like Hopper and Mike in season 3. But yeah, thanks for letting me ramble and rant about Stranger Things. This show has possessed me. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you'll have a fantastic day and happy reading. Bye.